But there's a difference between saying that place is a tinderbox and saying the Jews are responsible for all the wars.
Well, I did say that.
The Jews are responsible.
Well,
what are the Jews responsible for?
Israel is bombing the Gaza Strip relentlessly.
Merchandising, merchandising!
Jeffrey Epstein was operating a sex trafficking ring that included dozens of victims.
It's a real dry cold. That's the problem. It's the cold that makes me wheeze.
So how many motherfucking Jews have to be killed before you stop?
Get this through your head, you Jew motherfucker, you! You only exist out here because of me! That's the only reason. Without me, you, personally, every fucking wise guy still around, I'll take a piece of your fucking Jew ass! That way you gonna go!
Someone made this.
I made this.
God bless America.
You made this?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
No shit.
That's what I'm saying. I made the intro tape.
This
Like
is
war
incredible.
mode.
I didn't know
what
you
are they
made this.
responsible for? I think that they're not blameless.
Mel Gibson was a real one.
Oh, Mel Gibson's fucking insane.
He goes, well, technically that's not true. But
Was his new Jesus movie good?
I don't know. He has a new Jesus movie?
Oh, yeah, the sequel, The Passion of the Christ.
Mm-hmm.
No. All right.
That interview's just been going around of him being like, well. I showed this to Nick and he was like, why do you have Abe Lincoln and JFK? I'm like, oh, because the Jews killed them.
Obviously.
Was that not clear? The Jews had them murdered.
Put Garfield on
Yeah.
there.
And then I highlight reeled some of the cool quotes.
Yeah, what the fuck? I didn't
And
even see
then,
this
as the
interview.
officer arrested him, a tirade against Jews. Did you know he was Jewish?
No, I don't think so. Yeah. I don't think so. I found out later. But that's, all.
Why would you have asked him that?
I don't know.
These are the words. Expletive Jews. And to Officer Me, are you a Jew? And the Jews are responsible for all the wars in the world. Are those anti-Semitic words?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
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 The police officer had been black.
Maybe.
What would you have said?
Who knows? I'd have to get loaded again and tell you.
At the police station, still angry, he said
Such a
to
bad question
female
as a reporter.
sergeant, "What do you think you're looking at?"
Sugar
Adding
tits?
a reference to her breasts.
I can get really mad I can murder inanimate objects.
What?
You should see me choking the toaster in the morning.
The toaster.
So I'm kind of a
Cunt of the year, this
She's
lady.
disgusting.
You got me a little green. See? I mean, I just got out of the straitjacket with the messy hair and everything.
Alcohol just liberates you to say what you really feel. It's what you really feel.
Are
It's
you
not
drunk right now?
changing.
Well, that's patently false, I think, because it's like alcohol loosens your tongue and makes you act, say, and behave in a way that is not you.
Somebody said, "I do not believe tequila can turn an unbiased person into a raging anti-Semite."
Well, they don't know what they're talking about. That's as simple as that is.
It is a dumb interview because they
Or
just
they
put
don't
him
have
in the
the
hot
problem.
seat. Like, so you're wrong and a bad person, right? And he's like, I mean, I got drunk and I
There are
said
lots
some
of people
fucked up
who get
shit.
drunk
So, yeah,
and don't
like
say
we all-
anti-Semitic things.
Oh, yes, there are. People say all sorts of horrible things.
No, but who
about
don't.
anything. And
Yeah.
not just anti-Semitic things. They say horrendous things.
If it's not in you, is it going to come out?
It has to have some kind of place somewhere. And you have to ask, where is it coming from? Where is it coming from? Kind of conflagration over there in the Middle East. I remember thinking when I was 20, man, that place is going to drag us all into the black hole, And that's fear-related, okay? So, you have your own fears about these things.
And I'm
But there's a
scared.
difference
Can I
between
be
saying
scared?
that place is a tinderbox.
He's not. He comes across
saying
bad
the
because he's all
Jews are
sketched out, but
responsible
for
he's
all
on the
the
back
wars.
foot.
He's like Charlie
I
Sheen when he was
Jews
all
are
on the
responsible.
tiger
A
blood.
lot of overlap.
Well,
Just the longest pause.
strictly speaking, that's not true because it takes two to tango.
Takes two to
What are
tango.
the Jews responsible for?
What are they responsible for? I think that they're not blameless in that conflict. There's been aggression and retaliation and aggression.
So a pretty reasonable
It's
thing,
just
aggression,
part
retaliation.
of being in conflict and being at war. So
And then she
they're
says,
not blameless. Of course they're not. Okay, now when you're loaded, you know.
She looks at him like, wow, what a piece of shit. So he's like, oh, I'll keep talking.
I know that it's not as black and white as that.
And then
A lot of people are going to say, wait a minute, he's still blaming the Jews.
No, he didn't.
He's still blaming Israel.
No, but did I say that?
After several rounds on the Middle East, he said this is his statement of his true feelings.
So now he's at wit's end.
Real clear here, in sobriety, sitting here in front of you,
turning into like
national
Jack
television.
He's like a...
I don't believe that
Willem
Jews
Dafoe
are
playing Green
responsible
Goblin.
for all the wars in the world. I mean, that's an outrageous, drunken statement.
The leaders of several Jewish organizations launched a campaign arguing that Gibson had seeded the film with deliberately anti-Semitic images. Can you say anti-Semitic things and not be anti-Semitic?
Just poses a question to him where it's like, I'm not a fucking philosopher, lady. I'm an actor. Like, again, have you not... Hey, you've never gotten drunk before and been an annoying bitch? Does that make you an annoying bitch for the rest of your life, or were you fucked up?
Temporarily. I mean, we're all broke.
We're all broken. Which does sound like a cop-out, but it's also like, yeah, we all have our different things that are fucked up with us.
The one hole in his argument is that he says, like, the lady goes... It's like, well, when you drink, doesn't it bring out, like, your true self? And he's like, well, I don't think so. And it's like, well, you did say, fuck the Jews. Now you're kind of saying, like, again, you know, you do kind of believe those things. So, I mean, just kind of go with it. Whatever. You're already in the hole, man. Like, who gives a fuck at this point?
Well, he starts at one point in the interview, he says, like, what? Because, you know, remember how he says, he goes, well, it's got to be in there somewhere. It doesn't mean, you don't need to be an anti-Semitic person, but you have to have some kernel of, like, fucking, what's going on over there? So he was saying that he thinks it was leftover resentment from when he tried to put Passion of the Christ out, and there was so much backlash from the Jewish community trying to get him to stop. So he's like, yeah, because, you know, the whole thing was hard, and then it comes out, and I get no apology. And it's like they were allowed to just kind of like...
shit on me.
Yeah, they were allowed to like fuck my shit up and make life difficult for me, and then not a peep of an apology, and then I get fucked up one night and I ask a cop if he's a Jew, which isn't good, but does, like, you're ready to fucking hang me over it.
Well, that's the classic thing, though. You have free speech and you can say whatever the fuck you want until it's that. It's like Ted Cruz. You know what I mean? Like, how could you be so far on one side that you can't even see that? Yeah, there is aggression on that side. They are killing people. Like, they are doing war crimes in Gaza. That's a fact. The other fact is that Hamas is a terrorist group. This is all said over and over again, and like people have already explained this, but it's like to say that the one side has no fault is insane. So like I don't know why
especially when the second you cut off the interview, you go to a video of the actual people we're talking about.
They're not letting media in Gaza. It's like, well,
they don't have to though, because they post fucking TikToks of them calling up Palestinian people, being like, "Oh no, I think what they do is they call other Israeli people and be like, yeah, we're here with like the Palestinian charity fund if you want to donate," and then they just listen to old Israeli people be like, "I would not give $1 to I spit on you. I hope it burns." And it's just like, you know that trend that was going around where dudes like call their boy up to wish him good night? Did you see that? That was literally the Israeli equivalent is calling up people to be like, did you want to donate to Palestine? Rolling on the ground laughing. So it's like, Ted Cruz doesn't need to say shit. It's like, they're telling you.
And you halfway can't blame the people because they're, I mean, yeah, there is like,
it's not, I blame the people for sure. It's not like Nazis where they got a gun to your
But they also have a little bit of the element of like the 9/11 thing where like, we were attacked, fuck them. Like,
they hated people before the attacks.
100%. But I mean, you could say any attack. They attacked us 3,000 years ago, fuck them. They've been just under the, who knows if it's a psyop. They've been under that for
they can say all that, but they also select which things to remember and which things to forget. Do they remember that they got gifted that land like by the U.S. government?
Yeah, exactly.
Had nothing to do with Palestine.
And then I love
the UK and America were like, yeah, we fucked up pretty bad.
Yeah.
We tried giving them Greenland. They didn't want it. They're really hung up on Jerusalem. So
Tim Dillon made a point where he was like, yeah, I think it was Tim Dillon. Where he was like, yeah, they say They say London's running Israel. He's like, why the fuck would that ever be the thing? And then I got me thinking, well, the city of London. That's all the banking. That's where all that shit, that's where a lot of that shit started. It's like if they're running the banks, it like, through like, was that the Balfour document that started Israel or whatever? It's like that came from England.
Yeah.
Maybe there is a lot of connection there.
That was like...
After World War II, the king...
That was like the proposal or whatever.
Or some shit, yeah.
It was like I think it would be a good idea to help him out.
Yeah. It was like, how about we're going to give you this land? Yeah. But then I love that video, that old like rabbi dude who's like, there's a difference between Zionists and Jews. Like, we do not deserve the land in Israel because we were exiled from Israel, and it says that in the Bible. We do not have a home. He starts going on like shit like that, and it's like, oh, I mean...
And then you got fucko Ted Cruz being like, it's clear as day. Bible says we help Israel.
Yeah, and it's like, and then he goes, but is that Israel with the borders and
Netanyahu
government it has right now?
Yeah. Were they talking about bombs?
Well, you're being a little anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
No, that fucking pussy.
Which verse is that? I don't know. Well, you're quoting scripture to me.
Yeah, no. It's in Genesis, by the way.
Which it is fucked up from the limited Bible shit we know, where it's like, brother, you could have made an educated guess that it was Genesis. We could have leaned it. I wouldn't be for sure, but I would have tentatively said Genesis just to throw something out there.
When all their Iran, which is apparently the war is over. They signed the peace deal the other day.
Yeah, but then Israel keeps bombing them.
Really?
Trump came out and said that there's a ceasefire and they're both going to stop within 12 hours. But
that's when he flipped out and he was like, they're fucked up. They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, because he was saying like they get to carry out whatever missions are ongoing and then finish it. Israel took it as, oh, we got 12 hours, and they just sent everything they had to fuck them up.
Yeah.
So that's what Trump was like. They've been fighting for a very long time, and frankly, they both don't know what the fuck they're doing. Yeah. Which it's cool to see him find. He talks shit against Netanyahu. He's like, do not fire those missiles. It'll be very bad.
Yeah, no. Oh, he looks stressed.
No tie.
Yeah, no tie. Yeah, you said that. Man looks haggard. He's getting the same bullshit from every single reporter about like, well, he's probably gotten it 1,000 times, and that's the one time where he's like, listen, they don't know what the fuck's happening. Like, what do you want me to do?
It's also just retarded where it's like, so we're just going to have a press conference next to this helicopter? Like, this is good for who?
Yeah.
If I'm on Twitter, if Trump's on Twitter, he's not doing his job. But if he's answering the same questions he's already fucking answered 10 times, that's somehow not a waste of time. It's like, well, which is it? If he's tweeting, you act like he's got bigger fish to fry. But if he can go ask the same, tweak little versions of the same fucking questions we already got answers to, like...
I'm hearing about tweets from the head of, is that the Ayatollah? He has a Twitter, I guess. And he's been like, he said, as per whatever, his tweet. And I'm like, is this what...
There was also a fake Iran account that people thought was real for a while. Ayatollah might have. I think he does, but I know there was one just like Iran flag
I'd
account.
love to be like early on that.
Yeah.
Get the Iran account
just a troll.
Yeah, or just have like
a country.
The first Al Qaeda account or something.
Dude, in the UK right now, they got, I don't know if the group has a name or if it's just like a type of Muslim dude that the dude's a fucking retard. And they're like, yeah, we're doing, they're not like a full-blown terrorist group. They're like, they didn't fuck with people yet, but it's just like the way the guy's talking.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I just believe in Sharia law, and I think that, women should be covered head to toe, and, thieves' hands should be cut off, and, adulterers should be stoned to death in the street.
Sure.
And they're walking around a park, and they walk up to, I don't think they have weapons, but it's like 4 or 5 Muslim dudes that are like, I don't know if they're extreme yet, but they're like bordering on
Who knows
extreme.
what's under the robe.
And they walk up on dudes being like, so, I just see you're drinking alcohol right now, and, that is... we're just advising you to not do that because it leads down a bad road. It's just 2 English guys like, the fuck are you talking about? Like,
what the fuck are you saying,
dude? No time for that shit. Because there's also the like migrants that go in that are like raping people and running around with machetes.
Yeah,
these weren't those guys.
No.
Different group. Because those dudes, a guy was running around with a machete, fucking a guy's car up, and like 2 or 3 English dudes came out, cracked him over the head with the bottle. He went down to the ground. And then the other dude took the bar stool and he smashed him in the fucking temple with it. And I thought he died. He got up. I was like,
They killed the man.
In the second it happened, I thought he was dead for sure. He hopped up pretty good.
And then went and seized out later.
I mean, I hope he's a fucking dickhead.
That's crazy.
But the dude, like I'm saying, that isn't that. They're just walking around being like, hey, we advise you not to do that. He's like touched in the head. Like you can just see talking to him. Because the reporter, who I don't know why they're giving him the time of day, but they're like, but in America and in the UK, you have the right to choose. So, you can do that in your home. And he's like, but I want it when I leave my home. And they're like, right, but everyone has the freedom to choose. And he's like, well, why not choose Sharia law? And she's like, well, that's the whole, like, they can if they'd like, but you're not going to, like, impose it on the UK and America. And he's just like, well, I think, talking to a lady, he's like, I just think women should be, covered head to toe. And
not like, drive and, not vote. And
yeah. So go do that.
But these are but then, exactly.
They have countries that are like that you came from, that you fled.
Yeah.
You fled the place that allegedly had it set up how you like.
Yeah.
You want to like double dip where you're like, but I like the stuff they got going here, but I don't like how the girls are walking around all uppity.
Like that. Yeah.
It's like, all right, man, go start a commune. Like, you don't get to decide shit for other people.
But then there's these dumb fuck ladies that are like, free Palestine. It's like, well, do you want that?
Mm-hmm.
How about you get on? Why didn't you sign that guy's petition? Like, you got the free Palestine sticker on your car, but you don't want Sharia law or whatever the fuck? Put your burqa on. Get fucking going.
It's just how shit's presented to them. Because, it's like, I think the Palestinians would make you cover up also.
Yeah. Do you like voting? Do you like driving? Like, do you know you can't do that there? I didn't know that. It's like, yeah, no shit. Because you're fucked in the head.
It's like those videos where the people are protesting and they go, I don't know what I'm here for. Like, do you know what it's about? And you'd think that's an SNL sketch, and then you find out that's real life, and you go, oh, so that's everybody.
Yeah. You know what the most disturbing thing is? Back to the original thing when we brought this up. Is that like when all the Iran shit was popping off, it was mainly on Instagram threads. But these other things, it'd be like, if you're gonna, when they bomb us, please hit Florida first.
Oh, yeah.
When you run through the neighborhoods, get people with MAGA flags because I didn't want this, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, one, why would they do that? Two, disgusting how it's like the PSYOP is work that you're cool with just bombing America. Like, you're cool with them attacking as long as they hit Florida. Kill those people. Who cares? It's like you're so fucked up in the head and brainwashed that you're like, oh yeah, those Americans can. It's like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
You know what these people need is exposure therapy, not to be.
That's what it is, yeah.
Because I mean, even if you want to keep it in America, like go back to Black Lives Matter. It's like, yeah. You're doing Black Lives Matter, suburban lady, because you had a black friend in high school. Go down to the protest and hang out with black. Not saying there's anything wrong with the black people that are down there, but just culturally, like, you might not mesh with them the way you think. Like, I get along with black people. It's like, no, you get along with suburban people, and sometimes those people are black, and you think like, oh wow, what a fucking social justice warrior. And it's like, no, go down there and see if you like the volume levels that are happening. Like, go down there and see if something you say doesn't sit right. A lot of those black people are going to call you out on a lot of your dumb woke shit that they don't fuck with. You're going to say like pro-black, pro-gay, and they're going to be like, pro-gay? Like, shut the fuck up. Like, they don't fuck with trans. Not everybody, but just...
Yeah, you're talking in generality.
Yeah, I'm just saying, because people like to go... I don't mind. I wish all the Palestinians good. It's like, well, you wish that the kids don't get bombed, but you're not on board with Hamas. Like...
But it's also like
generalities.
But just to like even if like you're not gonna mesh well with the group, that doesn't mean like you don't want good things to happen for everybody. Obviously, that's not it. Like, but it's the way you got behind it is like.
My point is just that if they had, because the suburban black people is like them is Palestine on Twitter to them. That's like, oh yeah, they look so good. Like, it's like relatable, but. The black people, the analogy of like going down to the city and having like more ghetto black people where it's like, oh, this isn't what I wanted. Like this isn't what I thought it was going to be. That's like rolling up and now it's Hamas time. And it's like, put your burqa on, no more voting, no more driving. It's like, I know you think because it was presented to you like, you're helping this person. It's like, well, actually, you're helping all these people. Not saying you shouldn't still do it. Just saying
but
like,
I know in your racist
know what you're
heart.
signing up for. Like, because a lot of girls are like that, where they're on social media, not racist. And then the second black people show up and they dominate a space and
but it also goes to the thing. Well, you get the old people that would be at work where it'd be like, can we get someone else up here there? And it's like, Wow, you feel uncomfortable, and then you go out there and there's because there's 3 black guys in the lobby. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? You're the fucking social warrior.
Right.
Like, what the fuck?
You're
is
the front
happening?
lines
Yeah, like
of-
what happened? Like, it's just crazy to me. But
we're not allowed
it
to
goes-
make a little joke about how black people are going to show up at close when it's true every time, every night. We can't make that joke. When we're the people that go out and have no issue dealing with anyone that walks in,
I love everybody.
they call us fucking racist for making a lighthearted joke at the end of the night, and then literally can't do a transaction with a man of another color. Like,
It is crazy. No, we love everybody. We love everybody.
I don't like most people, so as long as you just kind of like,
I love everybody. You hate everybody.
Yeah.
We balance each other out. It's fine. But you know what? I think that because it goes to that suburban things. You talk about suburbia and everything, and I think it goes back to that thought of like the cultural reset of like after World War II, they started the suburbs and people started moving out of the cities. So now everybody's not getting that exposure therapy. So now you're getting pockets of these like social justice warriors that are going to jump on these psyops pushed by like these media things of like race and religion and this, that, all these other things that are like, well, yeah, we should have open borders. And it's like, well, yeah, because you don't have to fucking deal with it. You live in your mansion in
Yeah, they don't go to
Naperville.
Naperville.
Yeah, exactly. You're not going to Naperville.
Go
You're
to
not going
McHenry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you live in all these fancy areas, and it's like, of course you're going to be pro. You know, I'm gonna let everybody in. You know, Black Lives. I'm all for this, and it's like it's not. It's one thing to stand up.
it's all on paper to you.
It's all on paper because when it comes down
the rubber
to it,
doesn't meet the road.
because when it comes down to it, you're not housing anybody. You know that for a fact because you see the people ask them and they want to shit themselves and go, well, I don't know about that. They preach about how black people need reparations, but then in the interview they go, well, how about you give him some money? And they go, well, I don't know about. Well, it's like, well, what's your thing?
They get
then?
to say that they do charity, but then what you don't know is that their charities are like non-for-profits that funnel money back.
Yeah, it's a non-profit. Yeah, no, it doesn't make any fucking sense. So everybody's stroking their ego, but when it comes to fucking bat, nobody wants to go up and actually play.
The same argument I use for like someone coming up, I get like my sister when she wants to like, you know, when she kind of comes online at like 12, 13, it's being like, why are these black people talking like that? And it's like, it's not black people, it's those individuals. And you explain to someone that like, you grew up around white people. So it never crossed your mind to be like, white people do this, because you know there's 20 different subcategories of white, and some people are good and some people are bad. You know 5 black people.
You're talking in general, like
so if all the black kids in your class suck, you go, do black people suck? And it's go, no, dumbass. You just don't know any black people. Yeah.
Yeah.
So to your point of like when you're not around them, you get to just go like, because this is what you're supposed to say. So you just go like, oh my God, everyone's so great. And it's like, that's as ignorant as saying they're all bad. They're all great. The fuck they are.
Yeah.
Like, are all white people great?
I've known more shitty
Clearly
white people
not.
than anybody. It's like
Clearly no one's in like 100%, no one's knocking it out of the park. Fucking whenever what are those, like Finland and those countries where they report like the happiness rate, the highest happiness rate, you still get like a serial killer in the mix.
Yeah.
Like no one's 100%.
no.
So even people that are
impossible.
like the Netherlands, all those places, not all of them.
No. And then it goes to that same thing where it's like, you wonder if that's what those, like, John Levy talks about reset. You wonder if certain things where it's just like on like a cultural level, well, now you're creating this whole different mindset of people because people aren't getting exposure therapy. All these people move out to the suburbs, now they get these weird mindsets.
Isolated.
Yeah, you're isolated. You're with like, yeah, exactly.
Because it's not like you're within your own culture. That's different. It'd be one thing if you were insulated by your own culture. Suburbs isn't a culture.
No.
It's just nothing.
Yeah. It used to be rural and city.
Yeah, it'd be one thing if you came from like country to city where you have like your small town culture. If you're just in a suburb, it's like, it's a hodgepodge. It's just whatever. You don't have any culture. It's not like a thing that you're a part of that then you branch out to something else.
Yeah.
Everyone's just floating.
Yeah. You know what's really interesting is that people will hear this and like will be called racist for saying these things.
I don't think I've said a single racist thing.
No, 100% not, because we'll come off like people will go like, "Oh, that's fucking right. Why would you say it like this?" And it's like, we're the most tolerant to anybody. I don't give a fuck what anybody is. There's good people and there's bad people. You're the people that want to fucking make everything up by race and divide everything up by gender and race and what you do. Someone told me today, "Do you listen to so and so?" I go, "I don't know who that is." It's like, "Oh, they're a trans DJ or they're a trans EDM artist." And it's like, an EDM artist? Why do you
not
add
trans?
Trans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, trans. Yeah. They're a trans EDM artist, and it's like, okay, cool.
Oh, their music's probably way better than a straight guy.
But why is your whole thing is that we have to be more tolerant and everybody's the same? But now why do we put labels on it now to where it's like, oh, they're a trans EDM artist. They're just an EDM artist. Why do you introduce yourself as, hi, I'm a white cis male? It's like, okay, why do you put yourself in a category? I thought your whole thing is let's bust down these walls and like everybody's the same.
People do the I'm the white cis male thing to like let people know that like while I am white, I do recognize my privilege. So it's letting people, it's like I'm not part of the bad whites that would have an American flag, clearly racist.
I know, exactly. It's turned to that.
And then the flip side, when you say like, oh, it's this trans, that's like, remember how it used to be gay if someone like tried to brag about having a black friend or something? You'd be like,
okay,
cool, man. Like,
sick.
That got like normalized to where now it's like, you get your like, oh, you've reached your third black friend, so you get a badge, and 5 LGBTQ members, that's another badge for your sash.
Congratulations.
Like, it's PlayStation trophies to these people.
That's 100% what it is. It's trophies.
It's unlocking achievements, and then you get to show other people.
Yes.
No one has
it's
shit
another.
to
It's another flag in your bio picture.
Yeah, that's all.
You pop the Palestine flag next to the Ukraine flag. You let these people know you got the black.
These people
you blacked out your
communicate
screen.
in like phrases. They don't communicate with like original thought. They say like block phrases that they know
from bullshit they've heard,
and that they know will be accepted because they've already been. They've seen it work on Twitter, so now they drop it on a microcosm at work.
And then the second you try to pick anybody's brain about anything and have an actual conversation,
someone's hyperventilating and needs to go step outside.
And they get angry and they walk away because they don't fucking know anything. And it's like, yo, I don't know shit either. I'm dumb as fuck, but I'm open-minded. I'm able to talk because I can speak on how I feel. You don't know what the fuck you feel. You feel how whatever the thing online tells you. Yeah. So you're not even speaking for yourself.
The second you get put on the back foot, you got nowhere to go.
Exactly. So you have to remember all these facts when it's like, yeah, ask me something. I'll give you my honest answer.
But like, these facts, it's not like from research. It's like, what headline did you read before you walked in this door?
Exactly.
It's not like, oh, I have like sources to draw from.
I didn't look anything up. Yeah,
I didn't substantiate any of this.
Yeah, I'm just going to say like, oh, we should have no borders. You know, we are on stolen land. This and it's like every fucking land is stolen. Yeah. What are you talking about?
Except for Israel, which was a gift.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Native American tribes were stealing from other tribes. Yeah. Like, and you know how that happened? Open borders. You shut the borders down, they can't come in and invade you.
It's the most retarded shit when they're like, man, people are nuts trying to kick Mexican people out of a place called Los Angeles. Like, I'm like, Flushing is Dutch. Like, should New York be full of Dutch people? You fucking retard. New York is York. Should it be filled with fucking English people? Like, god damn.
No. And it goes that it's like, that's not the border anymore. Should America, should South America be all Asians? Like, isn't that who came over the Dire Strait or whatever the fuck? That's what mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is that like those people came from
Bering Strait?
Dire
Straits is a band, right?
Dire Straits is a band. Let's pull that up. Let's pull that up. But no, it's that where it's like you're gonna post like, oh, we're on stolen, but it's like you're not gonna do any fucking research beyond doing the headline
or something about it. Like, you're gonna feel some type of way, so your heart's gonna bleed for these people. But all this caring doesn't manifest in doing something.
Yeah, exactly.
You follow any of the New York mayor race? Because that somehow turned into like a nationwide issue. So Cuomo is
fucking Cuomo
trying to get back in. Adams is the
people
current
don't
mayor.
like Cuomo. Is it Cuomo or Como?
Cuomo. Yeah.
Fucking homo.
He's the dude that fucked up bad during COVID. I think he was governor at the time. He was the one that like killed all the old people and shit. And then
remember Nick talking about him.
Yeah, that's anything I know about that dude comes from Cumtown. He killed a bunch of old people in the retirement homes. Nick and Stav both endorsed the guy who did win the Democratic nomination, something Zohran. It sounds like Zohan, but there's another letter in there. Yeah, Nick and Stav both endorsed him separately, so that was cool. But Cuomo also has like sexual assault charges against him.
Of course he does. Why wouldn't he?
But somehow people still vote for him, I think, just because he's like an old white guy and just looks like a politician compared to...
Like Mayor Daley.
The current mayor is a black dude, and the Zohran guy is like Middle Eastern, obviously. So I think he must have just been getting the vote from people that were like, not voting black for brown. Like, I think he just got like the default vote from those people. But the Zohran dude, I'm sure I'm saying it wrong, but he was the only dude that when they would ask him about Israel, he like wasn't. Everyone else pushes and is like, I'm the first place I'm going is Israel.
Yeah, I'm going to.
I've been to Israel every summer. All of my It's like, all right, and they shoehorn it in because they're like, New York has the biggest Jewish population outside Tel Aviv, and it's like, yeah, so it's like something to consider, but it's also not like something to prioritize over the much more number of people that aren't Jewish in New York. Yeah. And he just kept having like a very sensible, like, yeah, obviously, like, I'll care about it, but I have no plans of going to Israel now.
Yeah. And that's a guy who's, again, just speaking from feeling.
His whole campaign is like, I'm a guy from New York. I'm not like a politician.
And that's as it should be.
Yeah.
Like you just want because the
that's
politician.
Abe Lincoln shit.
Yeah, no one's like, who the fuck are they going for besides themselves? Like, they're going to read whatever script you want to do. Like,
Eric Adams is corrupt as hell. Cuomo is like daddy was a governor, so he's just like, in the system.
The second you bring any of that shit up, you're called an anti-Semite, you're called a fucking moron.
You know what Sam Hyde's thing is on that?
What?
He goes, what even is that? He goes, what even is that? A Semitic person? And they go, because they've just made it to like associate with Jews, and it's like, but Semitic is like a type of person. It's not like necessarily Jew, I don't think. It's like Semitic is like from that region or whatever. Because Akkadian is a Semitic language.
Really?
Yeah.
Relating to or denoting a family of languages that include Hebrew, Arabic, Aramaic. Certain ancient languages.
Yeah,
Nation,
Aramaic
Akkadian,
would be like...
But it says Arabic.
Yeah, Arabic. So Semitic would mean Middle Eastern, right? Like languages from that region?
It's people who speak Arabic and Hebrew.
Yeah, so they try to...
Oh, look at this. Noah, who's traditionally thought as a direct ancestor of the Jews and Arabs. Okay, so when you say anti-Semitic, does that mean you're against Jews and Arabs?
By definition, but they co-opted they just say you're being anti-Semitic. And you go, what? They're like, brother, no, I hate Jews.
But it's only you. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what the fuck bullshit you're saying over there.
Please don't try to come in between me and my Muslim brotherhood. My Islamic brothers.
But I've only ever heard anti-Semitic in, like, against Jewish people.
Islamophobic is the other thing.
Yeah, but it's just, is anti-Semitic the same thing?
By definition.
No, people are fucking stupid.
People just say what they want to. I mean, I had a conversation, or not a conversation, but this dude, Naeem Ali, who's a comedian, opens for Shane Gillis, has a funny podcast. He was saying how woke was a word that got taken by white people and turned into meaning all that, like, trans stuff. And I was like, dude, is that real? Because I thought I was fucking crazy. Because I thought woke used to mean, like, don't trust the government. Woke meant, like, conspiracy theory shit. That's how I knew about woke. And then at work, people would start being like, woke, like during COVID, like, trust the science, stay woke, all that. I'm like, I thought woke meant, like, clearly the government killed JFK.
My eyes are open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we see this shit. Stay woke. Don't let the government fucking pull a fast one over your ass.
That's the classic conspiracy theory.
Yeah, just take words away.
Take words away.
Repurpose them.
Look at this. No, anti-Semitism does not mean anti-Arab. Anti-Semitism specifically refers to hostility or prejudice or discrimination against Jewish people. While Arabs are also considered Semitic people, the term anti-Semitism has historically been used to denote hatred towards
That doesn't change what the word means.
It doesn't change what the word means.
It means that people have historically hated Jews more than Arab people.
Yeah. Exactly. So that means we got to come up with a new word.
It's like how the N-word just means like a lazy, dark-skinned person. It came to mean black people because that's who we had around at the time. But should there have been Mexicans around, they would have also been that word. That's what the definition of the word. The definition doesn't mean black people.
It doesn't, and it's funny.
I saw an exchange online.
It's fucked up.
A Mexican dude was saying the N-word, so then this black dude like tweeted back at him and was like, "All right, my spick," and the guy was like, "Dude, y'all say the N-word," like, or he says, and he's like, "Y'all put it out there to like repurpose it or whatever." No Mexicans say that, like it's just a slur.
Yeah.
So like, I know you think you're like one for wanting me or whatever, but you guys are putting it in raps. It means like my boy, my dude. Like I just said it like that. It was all love. Spick only means spick. Like it can only be said to hurt someone.
That's crazy.
And yet that's the word that I can say. And I can't say the other one.
Yeah. Well, why can you say that?
Spick?
Yeah.
I'm not calling it to anyone. It doesn't have the same inherent like automatic ass kicking like we have to fight now. I can say spick in like I'm quoting someone way. People don't get weird about it the way they do about the N-word.
Interesting.
It'd be crazy to call someone a spick, obviously.
Obviously.
But it's like chink or gook. Like, yeah, it'd be super offensive to say it to someone because that's like implying hate. But
I think they have similar.
We're not giving
just
every curse word the first letter. We're not going to have half the alphabet let. N is... anything has an N, someone in the room's like, because you took away the specific word, and now you tanked a letter.
Well, the F word is fuck.
Yeah, but it doesn't tank the letter.
No.
No one's like giggling when they see F.
I wouldn't say any of that in like public.
Oh, I'm not talking about in public. I'm talking about saying
like,
to you.
Oh, well, yeah, obviously. Well, brother, I've heard you say some hateful things. I'm just kidding.
I've only ever directed hated individuals or like groups not defined by their race or religion, like a group that people like sign up for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I hate lots of those people. Fucking Ironheart came out. Can't even bring myself to look at anything related to it. But I just see the headline that's like, we were proud to put together a show that featured an all-black female cast and crew. And it's like,
sick.
Okay. Like, maybe try to make the movie good first, but maybe decide that the shit was good before you start patting yourselves in the back for all the DEI shit you did. Because otherwise, it's just going to come back to bite you in the ass and be like, oh, I guess black girls can't make movies. It's like, no, I'm sure they can, but you fucking hamstrung them by being like, black ladies only. And it's like, well, this guy's like really good at this, or this lady's good at that. Like, I don't know.
It's just odd.
It seems like not
that's
the point.
That's the whole argument with the DEI shit, is that it should be off of merit. Because if you do work hard, generally you are rewarded.
And yes, Hollywood was racist for a long ass time. And I hear so many comedians and people that have scripts and stuff that are like, I pitch this to a couple I don't even know what the word. I pitched this to a couple people, whatever the title is that deals with it. But it's like a black dude pitching to 3 white people, and they'll say something like, "Yeah, it's just not like marketable, or it's not like something we can sell." And I'm sure they're right that a lot of it is just racism on their part, that they don't think like white America is going to go out to see a black movie or something. But I think this has been proven wrong like a lot.
Yeah.
You know, like, so at that point, it's like, yeah, those people are wrong and need to die off. It's not on, like, Ironheart having an all-black cast and crew or whatever it is doesn't offset racism at the top. If anything, it makes it look so now like, oh, yeah, see, there was this many people in movies this year. And it's like, no. Like, this was like some weird supercharged one that now, like, offsets 10 movies being racist. So I don't know. It feels like not the... It's like when people protested outside of our work for when the girls would be like, it's not a living wage. And it's like, yo, take that argument to City Hall or like DC or something.
Yeah, you're talking to people buying wheat. Like, who gives a fuck?
A livable wage. Ask for a couple more dollars, but you're talking about raising minimum wage. The weed company doesn't have the ability to do that, you dumb fuck.
Yeah, no, exactly.
So when they do that shit, it's like, I think you need to like go to fucking these production companies and be like, yo, I have a petition that 500,000 people signed on Twitter that were interested in seeing this movie.
Why didn't we make it?
How did you decide that it wasn't palatable or whatever?
Yeah,
exactly. Because I'm not trying to like discount that. I'm sure that does happen.
Yeah.
Like shit. It's like when Charlie Kirk gets on his shit where it's like, there's no such thing as institutionalized racism. It's like, Well, there is some stuff that's not good. People make too big. They overblow it where they make it sound like they
people
can't.
Get too far. It's completely one way or completely the other way. Charlie Kirk says some fucked up shit sometimes, and it's like, yeah, because you're so dug into one side, and then you hear the other people, and they're like,
well, he's kind of on the payroll, so he's got
100%.
Like, yeah,
that dude's a fucking op. But then you hear the other side, and it's like, no borders, and they're like, no, close the borders, and it's like, well, hold on, what are we doing? Like, let's fucking be. Can we be in the middle? Can we understand each other? Can we just talk? Back to the other thing. I saw a clip that was I don't know if it was Air Sweden, Air Norway. It was one of these northern like European countries, and they were
Scandinavian countries.
They were celebrating their first all women flight crew, and it was 6. Bro, the landing is terrifying. This fucking plane comes down, and I thought everything was automatic.
Nathan Fielder did a better landing.
Dude, it was like fucking pinball to the ground.
Well, you saw that shit when we dropped bombs in Iran. That was like one of the headlines that came out about it. It was like, and
it was an all-women crew? Not
all women, but like one of the planes had like the first women to fly that type of bomber or something. It's like, oh, good. Women are killing innocent people now, too.
Sick. We've hit a split now. Do you want to continue on the conspiracy stuff, or do you want to watch the Frankenstein trailer right now? Because we could just do both.
I don't really want to watch the trailer. I'll just watch that movie. I don't watch trailers for movies I'm going to watch.
Really?
We only watch the Marvel ones to get me upset or whatever.
Because I watched a little bit. I've seen little bits of it, and it did look weird.
I just heard that it follows the book, and I was like, ooh, cool. I'm a fag, so that appeals to me. Like, ooh.
The little bits of it I saw seemed kind of, I don't know.
I just know that Guillermo del Toro dude, like, doesn't fuck around. He's who did, like, Hellboy and shit, right?
I don't know.
I think he's the guy that does all the costumes for that shit. I know everyone quotes Pan's Labyrinth as his thing. I saw that shit in school, so maybe that's why I didn't like it, but I don't really care about it.
Yeah, I never saw that one. I don't know what that's about.
Do you ever you watch that movie like some Bridge to Terabithia?
Yeah, that's a sad movie.
The Pan's Labyrinth reminded me of like more a mature version of that.
That's
but
all
like
when
similar
Narnia
themes.
was coming out. Every movie had that vibe.
I just bought the adult trilogy of the guy that did the Narnia books.
Adult trilogy.
Not like Narnia was for kids, and then he had like a book for adults, but it's referenced as the Space Trilogy or the Cosmic Trilogy, and I was like, wow, that's my the Kobo thing I got. I was starting to just download the EPUB, like the ebook versions of them that I could find randomly, and then on that Kobo website, it had a deal for all 3 of them in one book for $1, and I was like, oh. Well, I've been stealing a lot of books lately. I should probably...
I'll buy one.
And I Googled to make sure. I'm like, does this money go to, like, the guy's estate or whatever? And it's like, yeah, that's like a 70-30 split that they... I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll buy 3 classics for $1. Like, that's pretty reasonable. So I'm excited to read those.
How long are they?
They're like, I don't know, probably like 500 pages or something like that.
Each?
So, I don't know. They're like sci-fi books, yeah. They're probably something like that. But the dude always gets referenced as, like... being a fucking, like we talk about these sci-fi dudes that are able to like predict or more so tap in.
Yeah. It's all frequencies.
He was friends with Tolkien, who that dude's making up languages, and he had a story. He did the Lord of the Rings, and then he was going to do a book that connected Middle Earth into Outer Earth, and he like gave up on it, I think. And I was like, damn. That would have been incredible.
You ever get into those, Lord of the Rings?
I probably would have loved them if I read the books as a kid, but I watched the movies when I was like 15, 14 probably, and they're fine, but they don't scratch a major... I like all the elements.
I've started watching the first one. I fell asleep.
Yeah.
I realized very early I fell asleep, I guess, after when I explained it to somebody where I got to, and they were like, oh, you didn't even leave the town yet? And
the Shire.
Yeah, whatever it is. Dildo
Nick and Covey like it a lot.
Dildo Baggins.
Or Covey likes it a lot. Nick knows it.
But I had the thought recently, because I took mushrooms and watched The Godfather, and I was thinking I probably have to take mushrooms and watch Lord of the Rings, because that's the only way I can really focus on these dialogue-heavy,
yeah, I could see that.
Story-driven. The Godfather's so fucking
You know what it feels like, though? It feels like the same way I don't really like RPGs like that. That's what Lord of the Rings feels like. There's too much like,
I feel that.
Whimsical and merriment, and I'm like, nah, do the movie.
Yeah. Because I love Baldur's Gate, but not for the same reasons other people seem to like it. Like, other people seem to like the fact that you can, like, have these, like, lives with these other characters. You can romance characters and this, that, and, like, you could...
There's like 20 different options of what you can say back. So there's, I'm like, I don't fucking care.
No, I don't give a shit. I'm skipping dialogues sections because I'm like, oh, this doesn't matter. Cool. Yeah. Skip. Like, fuck off. Like,
I like a video game that you can clearly tell when someone's giving you shit that you need to know, and when someone's just being like, ooh, and if you came here, they sell this. Like, let me skip through that dumb shit, and I'll pay attention when I need to pay attention because I want to get the story. Yeah, I'm not listening to every motherfucker's side spiel.
Exactly.
Ooh, someone went missing. We've got to, like.
I noticed like shit like Skyrim was kind of like that. Like, I like Skyrim for, you know, the open world. You can kind of do whatever you want. You could be any type of character you want. The looting, the stealing, the weapons, the fighting. And other people are like, I want to marry and buy a house and, you know, do all that shit. It's like, yeah, I can't give a fuck about that. Baldur's Gate is kind of cool to where, like, it does seem like little bits of everything do matter. Like, if you're looting a house and, like, you pick up a random ass, because there's books fucking everywhere. If you pick up a book and flip through it and put it down, later on you can meet somebody and you'll have, like, a weird dialogue thing because you read that book forever ago. That's like, oh, you can, like, do you want to fight these guys or do you want to convince them to kill themselves? It's like, oh, okay, it's because I read that book.
I could dig that.
So, like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, Baldur's Gate does.
Well, that's
there
like,
is a little more of a...
You're putting, like, a gameplay element into it where it's not just like, ooh, if I say this, does he say something funny?
Yeah, exactly. We're like, exactly. And there is elements of that, but this is the first game that I played where it is so... Like, people always say, oh, you can do whatever you want. I'm like, yeah, what the fuck does that mean? Like, they said about GTA, I can't walk into a building and do whatever. It's like, oh,
people said that about, like, computer games, like that Toon World game where it's like, you can do whatever. And it's like, how? I remember being 7 and being like, how?
100%. No, absolutely.
Like,
and even if you could, what key is it? Like, what key is, like...
One, it can't think of what I'm going to think of if I'm just trying to be the most like, I want him to turn upside down and backflip and then like...
Baldur's Gate does have a cool element where it's like, oh, you can actually do whatever. Like, you could skip whole parts of the game. You could, if this guy says you could do something, you could shoot the dude in the face. It doesn't matter. Like, if there's a main character dude, you see him, you could fucking kill somebody and you'll never see him again. And it'll change the later game.
You know what I don't love about my Sandland game? The ammo is unlimited, and I feel like it lessens the stakes. I'd like it, because I didn't realize it was... Because you're just knocking into shit. I just assumed I was, like, amassing ammo from these, like, crates or whatever. So at one point when I'm, like, buying, like, my health stuff and this and that, I realized, like, oh, yeah, I've never seen, like, an ammo thing. And I Google, and it's like, oh, yeah, it's just unlimited.
Because then it's like, why wouldn't I just use the best gun always?
Well, yeah, now it's like, well, yeah, I can just kind of, like, spam. Where before, I was, like, kind of, like, 3-round burst, you know, like, now I'm just, like, spray. Yeah.
When, like Ratchet and Clank or something, you have all the cool guns, but it's like, ooh, I only got 4 shots for that thing.
Yeah, the Destructor you get.
So it's like, do I want to use that for these guys, or, like, do I want to maybe save it for the boss fight later?
Exactly. That's why Ratchet and Clank is the best to me. Like, and I don't know if it's the best to me because it programmed my brain to know what to like in a video game, or if I just happened to gel with it so much.
No, those early games were that Sly Cooper. Sly Cooper was one of the first games that, like, blew my mind of, like, an open world type deal. Where it was like, oh, you got the whole map. And
when you had multiple missions and you got to choose, that was very cool to me at the time.
Crazy.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
Because Ratchet and Clank, like, every now and again, you have, like, 2 planets you can go to, but most of the time, or, like, a planet has 2 paths.
Or it's suggested, mainly suggested, where it's like, you should probably go here first.
Yeah, there's usually more of, like, a clear outline, for sure. Or, like, God of War is straight, level.
Or Jack.
TMNT, level.
Jack was, I don't know. Jack was also pretty open world, too.
I thought you were talking Samurai Jack. Like, what game are you talking about?
Yeah, Jack 2. I think, if I'm remembering correctly.
They were pretty open world, yeah. Well, that one's kind of split in the difference because it was open world, but the mission was kind of more mission at a time. And then it kind of had, like, your side things, almost like how Assassin's Creed and, like, Spider-Man and games
That was the first game that blew my mind of, like, you had like those rocket cars flying above you, and you could just jump up and steal one and drive the cars around. It's like, whoa.
It felt so like interactive.
Yeah. Like GTA before I got my hands on GTA. You ever play War of the Monsters?
No.
Look that up. This is like it was like an open, it was like just a fighting game, but you would pick your characters and it was like all these old school like monster characters and you'd pick these worlds.
Oh, you showed me this before.
Yeah, dude. My cousin had this game. I never had it. But you would, and this was like the first time you can like level the entire world. Like you could break every building and then that could happen.
Do you remember when in Ratchet and Clank, the times where you would turn into Big Clank and Ratchet would be on its back and you would walk around on like those small planets and you could do that?
Yeah. No, I loved that shit. Like this was the first time I ever saw like destruction in like a video game. And the ability to just like kind of go anywhere and like every level had like you could play in Japan and if you went out and like did something with these buoys, a tsunami would come, which is a little fucked up, but that then later happened in real life.
Well, they didn't know any better at the time.
They didn't know any better. No, that game was sick.
You're not allowed to do a fire in California.
Yeah, that can't be a mess.
It's nature accurate. No, that game would have been sick as a kid.
Yeah, no,
just like the perfect PS2 game.
Mm-hmm. No, but literally, and I think it was, I want to say it was up to 4 players, right? PS2 had 4 players.
2. GameCube has 4.
Okay. Maybe there was online you could play. No, probably not. Probably misremembering.
PS2.
Remember, some people had PS2 online. I don't know how they did it.
It has. I know it could get on the internet, but it's always strange.
People used to play online in like Call of Duty 3 or some shit, or 2, or
yeah, that's next level.
Maybe Frontlines had that. I don't remember. So remember like a multiplayer tab that you would click and it'd be like, yeah, you don't have the LAN, whatever.
It had the things in the back for it.
And I never understood what that meant as a kid. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then later on, you're hearing about how people, I used to play online on PS2. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
No, I think you have to be a little bit more into shit to be doing that.
I used to beg my mom for Game Shark, and she would go, what is it? And I go, it's like a cheat code thing. And she go, where do I get it? I go, I don't know. I don't know. I hear about it.
You're telling me you don't know?
Honestly, I don't even know if it's real.
This isn't at the store? You don't see this?
Yeah. I don't know if it's a real thing. Did you ever get that? Game Shark?
My
cousin got it.
Game Shark is the thing that like attached to it, right?
It was like a thing you would plug in.
I only ever had I never would buy them, but my friend's cousin would, and then my friend would get like the cheat code books.
Oh fuck yeah! I got one from the Scholastic Bowl or the Scholastic Book Fair.
I had to deny myself buying them because I don't want to be the person to do it. But also, if my friend has level 99 Pokemon and will trade them to me for things that I have, that was okay.
Yeah, my cousin borrowed. I remember my cousin borrowing his buddy's Game Shark or something and plugging into my PS2, and me being scared as fuck, being like, "Are you sure this is like it's not gonna like break the PS2?" Mm-hmm. And then no, we got like Ratchet and Clank was like overclocked to where like every coin was worth like 100,000 or something. We had unlimited bolts. This is after we beat the game 4 times, obviously. No, that shit was great. You get that rhino gun in the beginning and just. No, that was crazy. I think Cy Cooper had some too, or maybe not. Or just playing like old school Call of Duty, like front or Medal of Honor, and just having unlimited ammo and just chucking grenades the whole time.
I don't know Medal of Honor.
No. You ever play the King Kong Peter Jackson King
at my
Kong?
friend's house? Yeah.
Unlimited ammo, unlimited spears.
Dynasty Warriors.
I never played that one. Were you a Shadow of Colossus guy?
No,
People
I always remember.
love that.
I think that one probably would have been a little too artsy for me.
Yeah,
I watched it and I don't think I would have liked it.
Because I don't like those like Japanese kind of, like, I don't know what that style is, but like those type of games are like.
I'm sure I'm a fag about comics sometimes, and like I think that's people doing that with video games.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. You get that like, but then again, I love Kingdom Hearts.
Nick and Kelvin and Silver like that.
Yeah. No, I love Kingdom Hearts. But there are scenes in it, though, where it does go into, like, some anime-style singing, and there's, like, a 10-minute song, and, like, people are flying through the galaxy, and I remember the end of the game being like, can we fucking get through this? I get it. Where's the skip button? Yeah, no, they love it. But then, you know, you hear it now, and you cry.
Oh. I love my fucking old songs.
Oh, it's
Digimon
disgusting.
on.
Yeah, no, it's disgusting. You play that beginning song of Kingdom Hearts where Sora's falling. Oh my God, you tear up, you well up listening to this shit because it unlocks things in your brain.
Pokemon theme song. I used to like throw darts at my sister. I'm like, can you shut the fuck up for 3 minutes while we listen to a good song?
Yeah.
For Christ's sake.
The beginnings of old shows too, because we've been watching a lot of like Dexter. Fucks me up, man. Dexter unlocks things. I didn't realize how much of that show is like embedded in my brain to where I'll just hear a phrase and be like, holy, like,
I know what you mean.
like that. I remember that, like that exact tone, that phrase. Ed and Eddie did the same thing where it's like that exact tone and how you said that. Yes, I remember seeing that.
It usually makes me think of watching TV, not in my living room, but in my mom's bedroom on the floor watching the TV, or like watching it on the side of the bed or something. Like if the main TV was in use or something.
Yeah. No, that's crazy. I had one more thing I was going to say. Oh, yeah. And then just, watching intros to show. Like, I remember what's it about? We were watching old Scooby-Doo. And, like, I've watched that recently enough to where, like, the intro, it doesn't hit, like, a pup named Scooby-Doo came on. Christian's sitting in front of me, whatever. She's, like, playing with the cat. And like, I'm sitting there watching this thing. She looks at me. I've got tears running down my eyes. And she's like, are you okay? And I'm like, I haven't heard this since I was probably 7, 8 years old, maybe, waiting for the bus to come in the morning.
Pup named Scooby-Doo was nice.
That, and then Baby Looney Tunes.
Baby Looney Tunes was also nice.
Incredible. I don't know if those came on one after another, but
I think so.
Those two, those I would watch like one of those and another one, or like one of those in the morning, and then the bus would come, and it was just fucks you up.
Those are two shows that you would think would not be good, and they both are pretty good.
Incredible, yeah. No, fucked up.
Most
weird how that
Scooby-Doo versions are good up until a point.
Yeah, I don't like the new ones. And I don't like I think the last one I liked was it's Scooby-Doo, it's like, what's new Scooby-Doo?
What's new Scooby-Doo?
What's new Scooby-Doo? It's coming after you, and we're gonna find that mystery.
Yeah, Scooby-Doo doesn't really miss.
06, yeah, that makes sense, yeah. 2002, 2006. That was like the last one I think I remember liking.
Yeah, because then you got into pussy after.
Yeah, I started getting laid, discovered porn, fried my brain.
Gooning.
I just got really big into gooning.
That one girl I've dated. You know how girls ask dumb questions?
Yeah.
Like just being weird. She asked me like when I started jerking off. I was like, whatever is in between 5th and 6th grade. She was like, isn't that like 11? I was like, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh my God. And she like looked at me like horrified. I'm like, what? It's not my choice. Like,
yeah, like I don't know.
That's when it came online. Like,
yeah,
I don't know
what you want me to. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Also, lady, you've never had like vicious boners that you can't make go away, and now all of a sudden you can make them go away.
Yes.
And it feels awesome.
And obviously women get horny. And we're not shaming
No.
the fact.
I'm just saying it's easier to get wet than it is to walk around with a raging hard on.
Yes.
Sure, getting wet is annoying.
Sure.
Imagine having to go get up in class. Everyone has that memory of like, just trying to will it with your mind.
Yeah. Just viciously against the zipper of your jeans.
Oh my Christ.
Just being like, fuck, God.
It's like, why did I spend all class looking at this girl's ass when I knew that this moment was going to happen?
That's why Big Mouth is so good. Like, it is fucked up in a lot of it, but like, some of the shit Andrew does, some of the shit like these other kids do, you're like, I remember that. Remember those days?
Oh, yeah. I was going to try to, while we were on the cartoon thing, I was going to be like, you know what Looney Tunes had was World War II. I was going to try to hit that.
Yeah, they did do Hitler.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Some actor, I fucking forget who, said that he tries to do Bugs Bunny when he acts. He's like, well, Bugs Bunny's probably the best actor. I forget what person said this.
I'm really modeling my acting style off of Bugs Bunny. That Velma show is a fucking disgrace.
Oh God!
And not even for the reasons people are gonna say I'm saying this for.
Well, kind of those two, but yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I'll say those ones.
Fine.
There's no reason to change it. Make a new fucking show. add a new character. You don't change.
I'll tell you what I did see. The remember that Looney Tunes movie people were talking about? I haven't seen it yet. But they actually made it with like old school drawing. Yeah. There's a Looney Tunes show that's on, I think, Max, or it's on something else, but it's like a newer one. It's not as old school as that, but it does have that similar art style to where it's like watchable. It's not like, I don't know what that era is of like Looney Tunes, because Scooby-Doo did it too, where they go to like this new animation style.
Christopher Walken.
He said that? That's incredible. Do you have a video of that?
No.
That's incredible. You know what? I don't get why the SpongeBob really pisses me off with this. Why, like, the movies, like, they like to, or like if they make a movie of a cartoon, they always, because it's like they get the budget for the movie now, so now we got to up the quality of the animation. It's like, no. Make it look the same. Like, make it look how it's...
Not the one we grew up with, the newer one.
No. Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, the original SpongeBob movie's great because it's the same thing.
I don't know why you would change the animation of the show. It's crazy.
Yeah, but they do that. I feel like they do that with a lot of shit where, like, they get a movie and it just looks too... They want to, like, pump it up. It's like, well, no. Why change what looks good?
Yuck.
If anything, it's probably cheaper to do it the other way. Why don't you pocket a little extra money and do it the other way?
Show, yeah. The fuck?
Yeah.
It'd be crazy if South Park did a movie and they just made it like anime
3D.
style.
Yeah, like what the fuck? Who's watching that?
Yeah, I just got...
The Elders of Zion.
I was just going to go through that because I thought it was like a noteworthy thing. It's like a side thing. So there was a thing called the Protocols of the Elders of Zion. And it was released in Russia in like 1900 something. Basically, it was a lot of not so nice things. It was what the people nowadays would call anti-Semitic.
Obviously.
What we know is an incorrect term. Basically, it was saying that they have a plan to take over the whole world and that there's like a small group of them that are plotting that.
I'm sorry, who's saying all this?
A Russian guy released a book in 1909.
Oh, okay.
And people were about it.
Yeah.
People were like, well, this makes sense. I've thought this, and now it's in a book. It's true.
Was he a czar?
Just a Russian guy.
Okay.
Russian guy. I think he ended up being someone that like worked for the government, but
a Russian man.
So they had this book, and people like Henry Ford are like hyped on it. They're like, I've hated Jews.
Yeah, obviously.
Now he can like take this shit and like reprint it in his paper and stuff and be like, see, it's clear as day. The London Times was gone as far as to be like, I mean, we have this war with Germany. We're worried that we might have the war with the Jews coming up, or like a issue with maybe they're going to try to swoop in while we're weak or something.
Yes.
So our boy, Alan Dulles, who is part of like the people we went through last time, he meets this dude, Philip Graves, because they're both in Constantinople. Philip Graves is a reporter for the London Times, so he's there just like digging around. And Alan Dulles is like a government military dude, so he's over there. This is his third time doing it. He did it 2 other places where he's there just like kind of like steering shit. I forget what the other 2 times are, but they were both like turning point times. He's just like a trusted guy that they send over. He's the dude that ends up being the like first head of the CIA. And he's the dude that gets fired after the Bay of Pigs thing by JFK and then becomes on the Warren Commission. So these guys are both apparently like book collecting, which I want to make fun of them for, but it's also like, what would we be doing?
It's also like, you think about it now, it's like, yeah, there might be a book burning. But it's like, you can't do that now. Everything's on the internet, obviously. But back in the day.
Burning?
No, like back then, how you could just like, we got all of them? All right, burn them. That doesn't exist anymore.
Well, what ends up happening is Constantinople's like such a, intersection of places. So all these Russian people are coming over, and the thing that they have to sell, because they're poor as shit, and they got to make some scratch, they have books. So there's like kind of a influx of like books that, I don't know, they got burned, but not in the area maybe.
It's like getting access to TikTok.
Yeah, it's like when they let the tribes vape.
Yeah, exactly. Get cool shit.
Yeah. It's disgusting.
You want to be cool? Hit this vape.
Yeah, ruin your life.
Hit this pen.
taint your sacred lungs that have been pure for a millennia because some dickhead wanted to get 1 million views. I'd gut that idiot.
It is funny.
I don't like it. Give it to the guys who are wrestling. Those guys can vape.
Who?
The African dudes that wrestle.
Oh.
That's like at a level you can give vapes to. Those far out tribes, leave those boys alone.
It is funny to see him like a pygmy holding a posh though.
AI that shit. I don't want it in real life. Yeah, people will be a social justice warrior and be like, ha 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 ha.
Look at them.
He's addicted to it. He needs more. It's like, I thought you were trying to like invite these people back to reclaim their land and like keep their culture, not like inject our poison into them.
It would be crazy to give like the head shaman like some like mushrooms or something or some acid.
They've got plenty. They got something.
Maybe.
They got Black Panther berries.
Something.
Probably.
And then you trip for 10 days.
That's they got toads and stuff, probably.
Yeah.
Everyone's got something.
Everybody finds a way to get high.
It's truly marvelous of humanity and of Mother Earth to provide so many
Such
different
a beautiful thing.
methods. So this one Russian dude rolls up to Philip Graves, the reporter, and shows him this one book. Oh, and this dude is also a self-proclaimed anti-Semite, maybe. The source on that is still debatable. I think what he did for sure say was that he wasn't doing it like to help them necessarily. Like he wasn't a fan of them, I think is what I kind of came down to. He wasn't a fan of them, and he was more giving it to them as a means of like, he did just want it to not be used incorrectly. So it sounded like he was a good guy that also didn't love Jews. He wasn't like a bad guy who hated, I don't know, just for whatever that's worth. Because he lets him know that this book seems to be familiar with another book he's read, and it seems to have just swapped out Jews with like the devil in the original book. But he doesn't have it to like show him. So Graves is talking to his book collecting friend Dools, the guy that works for the government, and Dools is like, yeah, you should send it back to London, where he's worked during the war. That was like one of the places he'd been before. So he's like, yeah, send it back to London. They'll tell you like if it matches one of the books over there. He's like, all right, good idea. And it matches the book that the Russian dude was talking about, some French book about like God and the devil, I think. And it was just swapping out like, or no, it was about Napoleon. That's what it was. And it was because Napoleon had global conquest plots. So it was just swapping out Napoleon for Jews, which you'd think in the world of no internet, you would just make some shit up. Why would you copy something and leave a possibility of being caught? You just wrote it yourself.
They switched Napoleon's. So they switched Napoleon's whole thing to be Jews.
In this lady's book, she wrote like a book about Napoleon's quest for global domination.
Okay.
So like in that context, they kept swapping out.
And they say that's where like
not like in a history book. They're not saying like the Jews won this battle. It was just this lady's book in the context of that.
So then it seems like when you read that book is that the Jews want global domination. Yeah,
that's the Protocols of the Elders of Zion. That's the book that this Russian dude has brought to them.
But the book's bullshit.
Book's bullshit. But this is how they find out.
So what you're saying is the whole conspiracy theory about the Jews is bullshit.
No, just this book. But isn't that crazy that you would try, like, because there's not a source for it and everyone believed it. He only got caught because he copied. If he just wrote something original, people would have just kept buying it.
Yeah.
It's not like there's a source of like, oh yeah, I was at the meet. Like, how do you substantiate anything?
So this dude was trying to get like the Jewish conspiracy going, basically?
The Russia dude was, yeah. He was like a Russian agent. So then in London, in England, they, in their papers, are like, that shit was fake, our bad, we apologize, that shit was fake. And Dools was letting America know, like, yeah, that shit's fake, you gotta let people know. And they were like, jury's still out on Jews, so it doesn't really do us any good to, like, come down hard on them or talk good about them. Because right now, like, Americans are kind of 50-50 on Jews.
Yeah.
So they just kind of let Henry Ford, like, keep talking shit and people be like,
what are you going to do?
And it wasn't until, like, after World War II that we were like, yeah, you can't talk about Jews anymore. So that's, if you ever see Protocols of the Elders of Zion, that's what that is.
But it's all bullshit?
Yeah, it seems fake as shit. I mean, it's just a Russian, like, plot to try to, like, it's like misinformation. They taught it in schools and shit. And then the Nazis adopted it. They would teach it in schools. It's just a book that apparently they just swapped out the words and stuff. Because I can't find, like, any, whatchamacallit, ulterior motive for anyone to be lying in this situation. Like, it doesn't...
So now I'm confused because if this is proven to be bullshit, but then on the other hand, it's not bullshit. You know what I mean?
Well, it's like if I wrote a book and put it out there and people would be like, oh, this book's bullshit. And it's like, oh, yeah, I didn't, like, substantiate, I didn't cite anything, but, like, I could, broken clocks, I could be right about a lot of things. You just can put no faith in it because it's just my ramblings.
Interesting.
He just wrote a book.
Then it makes you think, I don't know if this is where the whole thing started.
They didn't come out and say, like, hey, we were wrong. They came out and said, like, hey, that book was plagiarized. You know what I'm saying? Like, there could also still be a Jewish conspiracy theory. It's just a matter of, like, the book isn't based in anything.
Yeah.
The book isn't evidence of it.
I see.
Evidence of it is what we're doing.
Yes. That's interesting. That's
wild. Just a thing. If you ever see that pop up.
Yeah. Well, we see you fuckers next week. Nose might be coming. Who fucking knows? But hey, we'll see you later.